Hey guys, War Room here. Today being June 19th, or Juneteenth as it's known in American history, the first time slavery has officially been abolished in the United States, I wanted to talk about African American contributions in World War II. So it seems as though the media following World War II never showed blacks as heroes in any war films. They often served in segregated units, which were extremely unequal. The Marines didn't even want blacks in them. Everything from where they ate to where they slept was segregated. They were not allowed to attend the white theater, and black officers were not allowed to attend the officers' club. One of the most important operations that blacks participated in was in the Pacific. The famous Lido Road, which led from the coast of India to China, was an important supply line connecting Lido, Assam, in India to the Mangyu Road junction, where it connected to the Bermuda Road. 15,000 American soldiers, 60% of which were African American, and 35,000 local workers built the road. The estimated cost of the road totaled over 150 million US dollars and 1,100 American lives. The road was 1,079 miles and thus was described as a man a mile. The Lido Road would supply 65,000 tons of supplies per month to the Chinese front and was pivotal to the war effort against the Japanese. Another crucial contribution on the Western Front was the 761st Tank Battalion. In October 1944, the 761st Tank Battalion became the first African American tank battalion to see combat in World War II. This majority black unit was known by the nickname Black Panthers in reference to the Black Panther patches they wore on their uniforms. By the end of the war, the Black Panthers had fought their way further east than any other unit from the United States, receiving 391 decorations for heroism. They fought in France and Belgium and were the first African American battalions to meet the Russian army in Austria. They also broke through Nazi Germany's Siegfried Line, allowing General George S. Patton's troops to enter Germany. The 761st commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel Paul L. Bates, was well aware of the prevalent racist attitudes towards black soldiers, and so he pushed the battalion to achieve excellence. The 761st Tank Battalion was formed in the spring of 1942, and according to Army historical records, had 30 black officers, 6 white officers, and 676 enlisted men. One of the 36 officers was baseball star Jackie Robinson. Called the greatest American battle of the war by Winston Churchill, the Battle of the Bulge in the Ardennes region of Belgium was Adolf Hitler's last major offensive in World War II. Starting on November 7th, 1944, the 761st Battalion served over 183 consecutive days under General Patton. By comparison, most analogous units on the front line only served 1 to 2 weeks. During the Battle of the Bulge, the 761st was up against troops of the 13th SS Panzer Division, but by January 1945, the German forces had retreated and abandoned the road, which had a supply corridor for the German army. By the end of the Battle of the Bulge, 3 officers and 31 enlisted men of the 761st had been killed in action. In May 1945, the Black Panthers were part of the Allied forces who liberated Gunskirchen, a sub-camp of the Malchen concentration camp. One woman liberated by the unit, 17-year-old Sonia Schreiber-Witz, described the soldier who saved her in the poem, The Black Messiah. It goes, A black GI stood by the door. I never saw a black before. He'll set me free before I die. I thought he must be the Messiah. After the war, the Army awarded the unit with 4 campaign ribbons. In addition, the men in the 761st received over 11 silver stars, 69 bronze stars, and 300 purple hearts. Back at home, though, the surviving members of the 761st returned from Europe to a still segregated nation. At the end of the war, the V, or peace sign as we know today, meant victory. But for blacks, it also meant victory over Jim Crow laws and segregation. They thought that if they showed their patriotism, bravery, and sacrifice, that they would be granted more equality at home. Unfortunately, things did not change for a while. Texas native Staff Sergeant Floyd Dade Jr. described the contradictions for black soldiers coming back to the United States in an oral history saying, "We don't have equal rights. Democracy was against us. I was just fighting for my country." As the years passed, the achievements of the Black Panthers began to receive more recognition. In 1978, the 761st received a Presidential Unit Citation, which recognizes units that displayed such gallantry, determination, and esprit de corps in accomplishing their mission under extremely difficult and hazardous conditions that set them apart from and above all other units in the same campaign. In 1997, Bill Clinton presented the Medal of Honor to 7 men who served in the battalion. And I quote, "No African American who deserved the Medal of Honor in his service in World War II received it." Today, we fill the gap in that picture and give a group of heroes who also loved peace but adapted themselves to war the tribute that has always been their due. Now and forever, the truth will be known that these African Americans who gave so much that the rest of us might be free. Fast forward to 2020, I feel like there's still so much more that can be done. I hope that today's video highlights some of the achievements of African American soldiers who are fighting for their country and for the freedom that I enjoy today. So if you guys have any other stories, let me know if you guys want me to look into it and do a video on it. Sorry about no gameplay today. I felt like in light of today's current events and my love of history and World War II history in particular, I wanted to highlight this. And one more note, while I was editing this video, I realized I wanted to do a little bit more. So I went to the Veterans Association link and I made a $10 donation. And I've also linked that in the description of this video. So if you can spare any amount to donate to the Veterans Association, I think that would be a great cause. And that's all for today. Please like, comment, and subscribe, or room out.